Well, the complete focus may have been on Olympics, but let's not forget the India versus Sri Lanka series that has begun today. And I think as expected,
it's a strange match.
No, why is it a strange match? I think it's an expected result.
It was an expected result, but then look at one point, 10 overs, 11 overs, you're wondering, okay, they are making a good effort to chase a total of 214.
Pretty much what New Zealand did against India in hockey. They got to that early goal, but then India registered a come from behind victory.
But there is a difference. In India-New Zealand encounters, normally New Zealand is the underdog. India is the dominant power over New Zealand.
True.
But I don't know, this last couple of minutes that I have seen, it's represented a very, very strange situation because 140 for 1, you lose 9 wickets for 30 runs. And in a way, on a platter, if you look at it, Sri Lanka have handed out the win to India. Okay, on a platter. Look at it. I'll tell you the phone number. 00222600.
Is it your
This is not your phone number.
Huh? Is it your secret phone number?
I don't know. You can check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out. What is it?
I have better things to do.
I know. 00226004. If I include extras also. Patul Nisanka and Kusal Mendes were really batting well. But then Riyan Parag taking 3 wickets tells you that the underbelly of Sri Lanka's batting is non-existent. There is
2 wickets, last ones were in the last over, and the batters just yoked themselves up.
Yep.
But something that is really clear after this first T20I is, firstly, we all know now that the difference between an experienced and an inexperienced might be, but it's not bottle it up going later on into the innings. And secondly, why Sri Lanka opted to bat first, now I can clearly understand the reason, that it just got better. I just feel that there's a lot of dew there and the wicket just got better to play on as far as when it came to the second innings.
But in case of Ravi Bishnoi, his figures may not show how well he has bowled, because after a while the ball was really stopping a bit and the Sri Lankan middle order batters specifically, they found it tough to play their shots. And that's why if you look at the decision to bring Riyan Parag in the middle overs, I think in a way we can probably say that okay, maybe Sri Lanka's batting did not have that firepower to probably go after Riyan Parag. No, that wasn't really the case. The pitch was offering that turn, and that's why if you look at his figures, 3 for 5, it's not just the wickets that he has got based out of luck. It's primarily because of the fact that the wicket did offer some assistance as the match progressed.
Sri Lanka gave up. They are just they're like how it happens in a lot of our league games. Okay, you lose a couple of wickets, the asking rate goes up. You just feel okay, let's just chance our arm and try to clear the ground at every single point in time. Horrible slogs, mistimed slogs. It all meant that okay. And look at the kind of running. It was amateur running. Look at how Dasun Shanaka, he got a diamond duck today.
Yes.
So that is why it was a combination of the asking rate mounting up. So you played horrible shots. You wanted to ensure that okay, at how many runs you needed? You needed 74 in 5.5 overs, meaning 35. In the modern T20I, it's gettable.
True.
But look at how they all run out happened. Coming to Mendes, it was turning. But then Axar Patel's 2 wickets actually set the game up. Then more than Riyan Parag, I would credit Axar Patel for the way how he bowled in the middle. And looking at it, Sri Lanka just wanted to commit kamikaze. They wanted to commit kamikaze and ensure that okay, I will go down in spectacular manner and see how spectacular. You given Riyan Parag 3 wickets, not taking anything away from his bowling. But when was the last time Riyan Parag bowled with efficiency? He got 4 wickets versus RCB in IPL, which was about 2-3 years ago.
And I think he'll be on a hat-trick when he bowls the next time. I think he's gotten 2 wickets on 2 balls.
It can't be counted as a hat-trick.
No, it will be. Has he gotten 2 wickets and 2 balls? Can we check one?
I don't think so.
It's 19.1 and 19.2, yeah. But
so he'll be on a hat-trick.
No, but I don't think the hat-tricks are counted like that.
No, they are. If in a game you end up, if you are the last bowler to bowl and you pick 2 wickets, then on the next game I think.
I wouldn't want to get into that.
Yeah, Shivam, but we would like if you can.
Yeah, we will just confirm it once.
Yeah. I don't think so, because see, once a test match is over, if you take 2 wickets of the last innings and you want to win the test.
Yeah, absolutely. That cannot really happen.
I don't know. I don't know. But
then overall, I think. We have to, I think, specifically talk about Axar Patel here. I mean,
yes.
The kind of role that he has been performing for India ever since the T20 World Cup. today's. You are talking about today's.
If he
Yes.
bowls tomorrow, if he bowls in the tomorrow's game and he takes a wicket first ball,
Yeah.
is it a hat trick? Can you just confirm that?
So, like, can a player complete a hat trick in 2 different games?
Yeah,
that's the
basically,
thing.
yeah.
Which looks tough.
Yeah, but I think coming back to Axar Patel, the kind of flexibility he has shown, or the kind of adaptability he has displayed on the field, not just with bat or ball, but even in the field also, I think he is actually turning out to be India's real 3D player.
See, so far he has done what is expected of him.
More than that, even.
More than that. He's gotten you wickets when it's needed. He's bowled in the tougher periods when you expected him to. When you pushed him up the order, he's managed to do it. Basically, he has been the 3D player that India have always been wanting since 2019.
Absolutely.
So, Axar Patel at this point, he is really on a purple patch. I mean, ever since that Pakistan game, when he bowled that one over which changed the entire course of the game.
Before that, he even batted.
He batted well also. Even in the World Cup final, I think it was his knock that set the base for Virat Kohli to go bang bang in that final in Barbados. So, his things have changed also when you look at this game, 140 for 1. It was he who ensured that the collapse happened, and Sri Lanka collapsed like a pack of cards. They had a great building at the top, but that bottom and the foundation of it was very shallow. That's why they collapsed just like that.
That's where I have a question for both of you. I think that's pretty much the case with Sri Lanka from the last maybe couple of years or so, because you're very heavily reliant on Pathum Nissanka, Kusal Mendes and Kusal Pereira to get you those big runs. And if you look at the middle order, it has Charit Asalanka. You know, it's been a musical chair. Sometimes you have Sadira Samaravikrama. Sometimes, you know, there is Dhananjaya De Silva. Then decided that they're going. Vanindu Hasaranga also hasn't really clicked with the bat that much. So, I think, what do you like make of Sri Lanka's middle order, to be very honest?
There isn't a middle order. As simple as that. Because you look at the World Cup, what was Sri Lanka's main Achilles heel? It was the batting.
You know, he gives those savage replies. There isn't a middle order.
Look at it. See, they were bowled out for 77 in that World Cup match versus South Africa. They couldn't go past 140 against Bangladesh.
But you look at the 2023 ODI World Cup also. There have been like not even inconsistent.
It's mostly been the top order who has, you know, sort of gotten them into games, and then suddenly you see them, you know, just fall like a pack
Even
of
in the
cards.
ODI World Cup, again, the game against New Zealand, look at the game, South Africa, that was playing an absolute road in Delhi.
Chinnaswamy game.
Yeah. But the only game that they had success was against England, but that their bowling managed to do the job for them.
Yes.
You look at all the other games also, they've struggled against Afghanistan, they struggled against even against Bangladesh, they had to really ensure that it needed something special from the others, but they So
Yeah, it can be.
it can be okay. So just meeting. Okay, so the rule is hat trick in cricket. In a cricket, hat trick can be spread over different matches in a match if all 3 wickets are taken by a bowler in succession. Okay, so. However, there are certain conditions for a bowler to score a hat trick in cricket. First, deliveries must be bowled by an individual bowler in a match. So it can happen actually. Yes, spread over like how it happened with Merv Hughes.
Yeah,
remember
across
a couple of days.
Yes.
West Indies. You're
West
right.
Indies,
You're right. You're right. So it can happen.
So it will be Riyan Parag on a hat trick.
My goodness. That was a test match.
But
Spread
I think
across-
it's in test matches.
Innings by innings.
Yeah, it's innings by innings. In test match, you cannot carry forward it. I
Yeah,
think.
you can't.
But in a T20 and ODIs, I think.
Yeah, but then I still have to check though.
Yeah.
Even I am also not sure.
No,
about it.
why I got this? I remember a game. I think it was Pragyan Oja who also took a hat trick like this in
Pragyan
2010.
Are you
I think
talking
it must
about
have
the
been
IPL?
IPL.
No.
Pragyan
It
Oja
was
doesn't
it
have
was
a-
it was some game in England. I just have a very vivid memory of it. That's why I remember.
Pragyan Oja doesn't have a hat trick
No,
in T20Is.
he doesn't. He has done well in the
Maybe
limited
he
T20
was on a
appearances.
I think this case was that he took a wicket of the last ball of his previous game, and in the next game he came and took a wicket of his first ball.
I think
so
he's probably talking about the 2009 T20 World Cup in England.
Yeah.
But did Oja take a hat trick?
No, I'll tell you what was
He
it.
was on a
He
hat trick.
was
That's
on a
what
hat
he's
trick.
saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like he took a wicket on the previous game, he took it on the last ball, and then when he came to bowl again, he took a wicket on the first ball. Then he was on a hat trick for the third ball.
We'll check the scorecard of that.
We'll check the scorecard. Okay, so it has been a comprehensive display from India, at least for the first in the batting, it was comprehensive. The first 10 overs, what I liked about Suryakumar Yadav's captaincy was that he didn't panic.
True.
He didn't panic. He showed that calmness that was there, and also the bowlers were leaking runs. Maybe they found it difficult to adjust to the conditions initially. I think the dew, as Shashwat pointed out, the dew was there, and that is the reason why probably you're seeing that it was quite difficult. But Surya didn't panic. One breakthrough, and that's it. The floodgates opened. Okay, 84 and then 56. Those were the partnerships, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why it was a rather good situation that they faced. So, yeah, 84 and 140. So it was a 56 run partnership. After that, look at it. 149, 158, 160, 161, 163, 170, 170, 170. Total bedlam in the Sri Lankan team at this point in time. So yes, there isn't a middle order that they can boast about, and if there is a middle order, that middle order is not in form. True. Primarily because Dasun Shanaka, look at it, a diamond duck. Charit Asalanka can hit, mostly miss. Kamindu Mendis, yet again the same. Vanindu Asaranga, again LPL giant, but looking at it, batting in international cricket is a totally different beast altogether.
True, absolutely.
And again, Kusal Mendis and Kusal Pereira, I cannot make head or tail of this selection. Because they are very inconsistent, and it's like desperation. There is no other talent that is there in the Sri Lankan system at this point in time. Same goes for Dinesh Chandimal. If you've gone back to your veterans, it means there is a big, if you want to look at it, a vacuum or a choke in the supply pipeline that is there when you look at talent.
That's what I think, that's where the LPL also, the Lankan Premier League also comes into question, that if the good talent isn't being churned out of that league, then maybe Sri Lankan cricket is heading for more troubled times.
But LPL, I just feel that it's it's more than that meets to the eye there, because I feel the boundary sizes are too small, the quality you don't know how it is. So I feel that is not a sort of a tournament from where you can sort of find talent, because a lot of players I remember Babar Azam plays in that LPL, and there are many other retired players also. So I don't know if the quality is such that you can sort of take out talented players out from there.
See, the problem with the LPL is at this point in time, for Sri Lankan cricket, there is absolutely no... See, the league itself has had stability only for the last couple of years. Prior to that, there wasn't any Premier League in Sri Lanka. There was the SL T20, but then that included only 4 franchises you have to look at it. There were other franchises like the Kandurata Maroons, Uva Next and all those, but they were not managed properly. The problem in Sri Lankan cricket at this point in time is no money. And a lot of nations don't look at Sri Lanka as a very valuable place to maybe market your thing. Sri Lanka is no longer a marketing darling after 1996. 1996, when they won it, there was a brief aura for them for about 10-15 years. But after the retirement of stalwarts, it has just dipped. The brand value has dipped. Now, where do we see the next Sanat Jayasuriya? Where do we see the next Kumar Sangakkara? Where do we see the next Mahela Jayawardene? Or a Rangana Herath? Or a Muttaya Muralidharan? All those guys were bona greats. But Mendes was just like that brief comet that came in the sky and withered away.
Once Mendes was figured out by the bowlers,
by the batters like Virender Sehwag.
By the batters, obviously.
Yeah, Virender Sehwag, when he found it out, that's it. Mendes' mystery became history. So that's the huge problem that you had at this point. So, Sri Lanka don't have the necessary legends who can give the country a brand value, marketable brand value for their cricket. At this point in time, India, when they come and they manage to beat them on a consistent basis, it anyway demoralizes them. Plus, Bangladesh and Afghanistan are slowly threatening to overtake Sri Lanka.
I think Afghanistan have already taken over Sri Lanka. Afghanistan, hands down, are the second best Asian team going around as of now.
I'd still say third.
Pakistan.
I'd keep Pakistan.
See, Pakistan...
Across formats. I'm talking about across formats.
See, Afghanistan's stocks have risen ever since their, brilliant performance in the 2023 ODI World Cup. The win against Pakistan, England, Sri Lanka, You almost defeated Australia,
England.
if not for that Glenn Maxwell special. You also took South Africa very, very close, to the line. So, and you look at the T20 World Cup now, the reaching the semi-finals was no fluke at all.
No,
So that's where I think Afghanistan, for me, they're obviously head and shoulders above Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and even Pakistan. Definitely the number 2 Asian team in ODIs and T20s, and in test matches, obviously they still have a very long way to go.
I mean,
Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, I think are on par. Even Bangladesh are sort of in the same boat as Sri Lanka. I know the situation hasn't been so bad for them, but I think they are on that path.
but Bangladesh beat Sri Lanka and
Yeah.
they managed to pip them in the
World
ICC
Cup.
T20 World
Yeah.
Cup. So that is why somewhere down the line, Sri Lankan cricket is facing a massive crisis, and I don't see how they can recover from this. It's been in crisis mode ever since COVID. And I think it's not recovered, and it may not recover from this
I
point.
think it's more of a, it's very harsh saying this thing, but yeah, it's more of a spineless show by Sri Lanka, which has left the players and the board, the Sri Lankan cricket board, with a mountain to climb.
There is, anyway, there is only a few mountains in Sri Lanka, but here also, if you look at it, they struggle to scale that as well. So,
Yeah, true.
see, looking at it, once all your stalwarts retired, you didn't fill their vacuum. And that's why now Sri Lanka, look at it, you're persisted with the Kusal Mendes despite him not performing well for so. And you look at the new generation also. I remember one of the tweets by a current Sri Lankan journalist. He said, Charit Asalanka is one of the few guys who's got a spotless record as far as discipline is concerned. Now in the current lot in Sri Lanka, a lot of indiscipline is creeping up. And to think after this, they are going to go to England for 3 tests. God help them at this point in time. True. It is not looking good. But then now, before we take some comments shortly, I just want to dedicate a few minutes to Riyan Parag.
Yeah.
Now with the bat, he hasn't had that much of success. But with his 3 for 5, do you think, I'll use it in Shashwat's words, do you think that Riyan Parag is not getting dropped for the remainder of the 2 games?
Yes, absolutely. Irrespective of his batting form, he is not getting dropped. He is going to get a long run, for sure.
What do you think, Shashwat?
See, it's like, I don't know. It's then on the other end, you would be dropping a Washington Sundar who himself hasn't gotten a long rope, and Washington Sundar is somebody also who is available very less for the Indian team. He's available because of the injuries. So as far as I already feel that the number India is looking for, where you need to fill that spot. Over there, Riyan Parag isn't suitable. I feel that he's somebody who should be batting higher up in the order, but obviously there is no place. So the only position where I think he would fit in is where Washington Sundar is available right now. So according to me, it should be Washington Sundar whom the team should back, and I think it's going to be that only, and the team is going to back Washington Sundar only. Riyan Parag is going to be a backup for him.
See, for me, it's like I just want to maintain consistency with this team, and I think that's what they'll also be looking to do. Unless someone gets terribly out of form, I don't see any reason why India should not persist with this team. There's no specific reason to drop anyone.
No, but then you're keeping a Riyan Parag over a Washington Sundar.
Yeah, I am, and just for the sake of consistency, I'm going to do it.
See,
Let's
Riyan
what
Parag
happens.
is an off spinner, right? Can bowl a bit of WW medium pace also.
Yeah. So when you go to South Africa, therein you can probably make that change just for the sake of horses for courses. You can probably have a Shivam Dubey. If Nitish Kumar Reddy is fit, you can probably take him there also. Who knows, Nitish Kumar Reddy could be on the flight to BGT also. You never know how these selections will happen. But then overall, I think just maybe 1 or 2 changes here and there would be fine, but you should not really be making those too many changes.
No, but Gulati said, don't you think that as far as consistency is concerned, it is Washington Sundar who's much ahead of Riyan Parag in the scheme of things in T20?
It should be
then
like
I
that.
think today Riyan Parag playing is because he wasn't available, Washington Sundar. As soon as he would be available, I think it would be, there is no clarity on Washington Sundar as of now, but I think if he's available, it would be Washington Sundar who would start.
I would agree with that. I would say get Washington Sundar in. So, because see, Riyan Parag may be a stopgap arrangement at this point. So, looking at it, see, Riyan Parag is impressed with the ball, but then looking at the broader situation, the match, see, those wickets, I'm not saying every wicket is earned, every wicket is a wonderful thing, 3 for 5, but looking at the circumstances, I think it will not hurt much if Riyan Parag is dropped.
Sidvisari bowled 1 over, he took a wicket there, and then he bowled the last over where he took 2 wickets. So I really don't, just go by I'm not going by the figures. Any day, Washington Sundar is a much better bowler.
Exactly.
And a better bat.
Yeah. Bat, see, again, I don't know, batter, I feel Riyan Parag has a lot of potential in him, and I think I see him playing for India for a long time, but I don't think now is his time. It's going to be there moving ahead, but he is definitely a backup in the Indian team. The selectors have shown that, but in the 11 I feel it's going to be Washington Sundar. Riyan Parag, best utilization is if he bats up the order.
But then you don't really have those slots available.
Yeah,
at the top of the order.
exactly.
So that is why you're wasting a Riyan Parag if you get him there.
True.
And you're judging him wrongly then.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Let's just have a look at a few comments.
Yep. Let's look at that.
So
Ashish Dhar is saying Bhuvan bought Kachra. Bhuvan bought Kachra in second over on day 1, expected pitch to turn immediately, but Kachra started getting slow turn on day 2, hence got wickets. Why does he come up with the Lagan analogy on
He knows how much you love Lagan.
Today even I used it on him.
Yeah.
Now, the only difference is that he is the Bhuvan now.
Exactly.
Dex says a comment that Sri Lanka were too woeful. I doubt they'll win even a match in this tour. Is this your favorite team, Sid? Okay, if you're asking Siddharth,
it's me.
Yeah, please.
So Dex, see,
no one asks me.
I liked Sri Lanka. I still like. Okay, for a simple reason that they have had to overcome a lot in their cricket. I mean, you also have to understand that the cricket was played in the backdrop of war, and if you look at their history of Sri Lanka, it's always been very, very fighting the odds. But now I think it's going to be a big problem for Sri Lanka for establishing their identity, because once cricket goes, there is no sporting identity for Sri Lanka. Cricket is the only identity that the islanders have. I mean, if you look at it, since it's Olympic time, the only medalist in the history of Sri Lanka, there's been only one medal that a Sri Lankan has won, and that was Susantika Jayasinghe. Apart from that, there has been hardly any Olympic representation, hardly any Commonwealth representation, hardly any Asian representation.
They'll have it from next time, when cricket comes to the Olympics.
But again, if you have cricket in Los Angeles, I mean, I doubt Sri Lanka will make an impact.
Because in Los Angeles,
They have gold medal in Olympics in cricket.
Yes,
Yeah.
1900 Paris.
yeah.
No, not England. South Africa is silver.
No, England and Germany.
You're mistaking it with Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Commonwealth, South Africa has won the gold in 1998 Kuala Lumpur. England won the gold medal by beating France in the final.
Two teams, I remember.
It was only 2 medals. So that's why Sri Lanka decks are lovely people here. But I think the frustration will boil over ever since 2019 and 2021. Cricket's taken back, and look at it, for such a small island, there are too many teams.
And to be very honest, I think in case of Sri Lanka, the scope for improvement also isn't really that much nowadays, because if you look at the top three, if you look at the big 3 nations here, I think it's primarily about them trying to figure out a way to play 4 or 5 tests against each other, rather than playing a 3-match or a 4-match series against the likes of Sri Lanka, West Indies and all. Okay, this is a rare exception that Sri Lanka are going to play England in 3 test matches, 2 or 3 test matches this time. But that doesn't really happen that often. So overall, I think for Sri Lankan cricket, obviously it's a tall order for them to just figure out a way to climb up from here, because until or unless they start to beat any of the two of the top 3 nations consistently, don't really see a way back for Sri Lanka, not just in maybe one format, but probably across formats.
The problem also is that there are no youngsters also coming up. If you just look at the under-19 Asia Cups also, they are not making it to the semi-finals.
I mean, why couldn't you have played a Vellalage on this pitch?
And even in case of, I think, Dasun Chanaka also, there was some kind of consistency that was established when he was the T20I and the ODI skipper also. But then but there weren't any performances from him with both bat and ball, despite like being an all-rounder. But once he has been stripped of that captaincy, they haven't been that inspiring leadership also.
Yeah, Freudenstein, Udit, I'll again say Dhanush has always not liked the fact that Pant has gotten a long row. Doesn't change fact, Pant got 75 trial T20Is. But then Dhanush, when you wanted him to do the crucial roles,
He's done it.
He's done it. You can't change the T20 World Cup fact.
for that matter.
Yeah. Will you ignore that fact? Impact at this point, you look at that, he had played all the T20Is in lower order.
I think we need to move on from the stats, to be very honest.
But
I think
then
there's more
we
to
can't.
offer.
We can't, because the thing is, everybody, until Sanju Samson doesn't get a long rope, this stats will always be
I
there.
think we can really move on from the stats thing, and I'll quote you an example. Because it's not just about us, or maybe it's not just about the casual fans also. There are even fans who do not even watch that much cricket but still remember Suresh Raina's 30 odd against Australia and Pakistan in the 2011 World Cup. So
Yeah.
there is hope.
We have always said that there will be a bit of scrutiny on that because he capitalized on 1-2 big overs. But prior to
Yes.
that, he was struggling. Timing was off. So Pant will be under the scanner. But I think as a keeper today, he was very good.
Yeah,
Okay, Ravi Bishnoi stray deliveries and all that, nobody could do anything
yeah,
about
absolutely.
it. But see, Pant, after winning the T20 World Cup, I think is an integral part.
Yeah, and I don't even think that he's under the scanner or there is any sort of pressure on him by the management that you are under the
Yeah.
scanner or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
I think he's
absolutely.
somebody who's going to stay with the team.
Yep. So that brings an end to the first T20I. But don't worry, the match is happening tomorrow.
Less than 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours, and you've already got a lot of Olympic situations also. So, Ashish, with Sri Lanka economy in crisis, CT hosting may be difficult. UAE may be alternative.
Probably.
I think so. The hybrid model, we all thought UAE. I think the weather, yes, Sri Lanka at least can be better in February, but I don't think.
I remember the Asia Cup last time.
No,
That
but
was
then
hybrid
Asia
there.
Cup was September.
September, October.
Yeah.
That's always raining. August, September, it's raining in Sri Lanka.
Let's see. Let's see.
So, yes. So, tomorrow it's more Olympic action. Hopefully, glory beckons.
Two
for us.
medals, maybe we are ending. We end up
Maybe.
with 2 medals.
In shooting and archery.
Archery,
In
yeah.
shooting, we'll have Manu Bhaker, and in archery, there's going to be a team of Deepika Kumari, Ankita Bhagat, and there's one more, Bhajan Kaur. Yes.
So you're going to see that. One more event is remaining in Olympics today for
Boxing.
India. Boxing
Two
with
more.
Preeti Pawar. Which
And
one?
badminton.
Badminton.
Ashwini Ponnappa and Tanisha Kristo, that's going to happen also. So let's see how it goes. So it's already been a good, mixed kind
Mixed
of
kind
day.
of a day, yeah. I'd say mixed. Because
It was
we were
mixed,
hoping medals early in the morning also from the shooting team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you can't win it all in shooting. And even tomorrow, by the way, she's qualified for the final, but it's not a guarantee for a medal.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see how it goes. End of a long, long day, but you still got another 1-2 hours left still for this events to end. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us. Tomorrow, it's again India, Sri Lanka. Let's see whether Sri Lanka stay alive in the series or they
India
just
make it
2-0. So bye-bye.
2-0 lead.
So bye-bye from me, Shashwat and Sid Gulati. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news on India, Sri Lanka and Olympics. And don't forget to download the Sports Talk app and subscribe, please, to Sports Today. We are close to a very, very good milestone of 500K, 500,000. So please show us love and help us get there by Independence Day, hopefully.
And our two, very senior reporters, Nikhil Naz and Rahul Rawat, they are bringing some of the very interesting stories from the Olympics village there.
Yes.
Nikhil has done an excellent interview with the likes of PT, Usha,
And Shan.
Suma Sharur, and the singer Shan.
Shantanu
You can
Mukherjee
watch
also
all
was
of that
featured
on Sports Today also.
Rahul sir did an interview with Suma
sure.
Sharur. Yeah.
Okay, so bye-bye, guys. See you soon.